The engines on the island of Sodor love the summer. Sir Topham Hatt arranges lots of concerts. Music can often be heard drifting through the air.
Being that it's not a heavily industrialized island, yeah, I can buy that. Although if you ask me, that cello looks like a paper cutout. But aside from paper cutout instruments, there was another musical talent coming to the island.
Alicia Botti, the famous singer, was coming to the island of Sodor. "She's a coloratura," said Gordon importantly. "What's a coloratura?" asked Thomas. "It means she can sing high notes very, very loud."
I've never even heard that word, but okay, I'll go with it. And look, I'd recognize that anywhere. It's Nancy from Season 4. Except she's not important now. The engines were talking about someone else more significant. Like who will pick up Miss Botti.
"He might choose me," he said hopefully. "Well, one thing's for sure," said Gordon. "He won't choose Dirty Percy." "Don't call me Dirty Percy," he chuffed crossly, and he wheeshed away.
Ha! I enjoyed that moment. The way Percy crept up, the loose trombone cue, and Gordon's response were all well timed. Too bad for Percy, though. This only reinstates how hard Percy works, and that brand new coat of paint he got after his chocolate crunch incident didn't stay nice for very long. And soon, the engines found it was Thomas who was picking up Miss Botti.
"Make sure Annie and Clarabelle are squeaky clean," he said. "Yes, sir," said Thomas proudly. He felt very important indeed. "Move aside, Dirty Percy," chuffed Thomas. "I'm the important engine today." "But I need a washdown," wailed Percy.
Oh, come on, really, Thomas? Percy just told Gordon not to say that, and now you're not only going to repeat it, but push him aside, too? Jeez Louise. Nobody's giving him a break. Cut it out with the jabs. Get your wash down and move.
Soon Thomas was shiny and squeaky clean. "What's that?" asked Thomas anxiously. His driver quickly oiled Annie and Clarabelle's undercarriage. "That should take care of the bothersome squeak," he said.
That's no bueno. If those guys oiled Annie and Clarabelle's joints, then what on earth is making that wretched squeak? Turns out, Thomas and his crew would find out soon enough when they arrived at Brendam Docks. And it was not a mechanical fault.
Sir Topham Hatt held Clarabelle's door open when... a mouse! She screamed so loud and so long that windows broke all over town. "Definitely a coloratura," said Gordon.
Nice one, Gordon. Okay, so believe it or not, I'm finally getting used to Baldwin's voice for Gordon here. Although it's a bit late now. You should have used this in Season 5. Here's something else, though. Thomas could hear that squeak on his way to the docks. So what kind of lungs does this mouse have? That little thing can be heard over Thomas rattling down the rails? That seems unlikely. And the likelihood of Miss Botti getting on Thomas's train was very low, too.
"Look at the little green engine," Alicia Botti exclaimed. "So sweet and dirty, like a proper steam engine." "But he's filthy," Gordon huffed snootily. "But I clean up nice," smiled Percy. He was glad somebody noticed.
Ah, that's nice. Percy has been given recognition again by a higher authority. Considering that his fellow Engerinos haven't been really supportive of him, it's nice Miss Botti found him worthy. However, that doesn't mean Annie and Clarabelle aren't credible. After all, Lady Hat doesn't think they're beach huts anymore either. And although the mouse had scared Miss Botti, it didn't stop her from doing her concert later that night. Thomas also apologized to Percy, which was nice too.
Her voice carried across half the island. Sir Topham Hatt had made the little mouse her very own home in the corner of Tidmouth Sheds, and Thomas named her Alicia.
Sure. This episode was actually pretty good up until that last bit. Seriously? I don't believe Top Hat would have done all that for a mouse. That's a bit silly. But aside from this, I like the story and how it played out. It began with Thomas and then shifted to Percy. And being that Percy needed some respect thrown his way, this was another good story that gave him that. And with Thomas taking back what he had said about Percy being dirty, it was nice too. At least Thomas understands it was going a bit far with the jokes for this moment. Miss Botti's also a new addition. She certainly does have a voice for making ears bleed. Glad I don't know any other coloraturas. One's enough. Music was here this time though. The entry is mainly just Season 6 incidental music, but it's not as memorable as it could have been. Really what was better were the set pieces. No new locations were featured, but Tidmouth Bay, the lighthouse, the windmill, and Knapford Station were shown. They are all great places to see. Next episode is Thomas the Jet Engine. Thanks for watching.